going through this process? I mean, shooting the way you did yesterday, and then getting on the court and doing the 5-on-5. What has this process been like for you, especially being so close to hitting the NBA?
It's just all a grateful experience. Extremely grateful to be here, to give an opportunity to be here. And I'm just trying to showcase my best work, what I've been putting in all after the season, and just take it all in. And I'm grateful everything is.
You hear from your dad?
Yeah. He's been talking to me after the days and stuff, checking in like stuff like that. But he's giving me words of encouragement and stuff. But, yeah.
Bronny, you mentioned the word grateful. Mm-hmm. After everything you went through earlier in the year, school year, how surreal is it that you're in this moment to have a chance to play for, potentially in the NBA after everything that you went through medically?
I think it all just, it's just a great thing to happen to me, in terms of just, being grateful for everything and stuff like that. I put in the work and stuff like that to get back, so I feel like I've earned the opportunity. And I'm extremely grateful for everything that's been given to me and stuff like that. And I'm just excited for my future.
What are we seeing out there that maybe we didn't see at USC?
Just flexibility, given a chance. And just everyone believing in me and stuff like that. Even not that everyone at USC didn't, but just an open opportunity to showcase.
And what will go into your decision process?
Just a lot of thought and a lot of alone time by myself and thinking about where I want to be and where my heart wants me to be. So, yeah.
Bronny, one thing that really sticks out is that you play the game the right way. It's been like that since you've been in high school. I know that comes from Pops too as well, but you guys all play the right way in the James household.
Yeah.
Talk about that, and also being one of the first in the gym. Everybody tells me, like, when there's a workout, you're already 40 minutes early too. That's something that you and Pops both do. So just talk about those two things.
Yeah, I give all of that credit to my dad. He's taught me a lot of things and how to, show up the right way and showcase yourself the right way and give a great first example of yourself. And I feel like he's driven that into me and my brother's heads pretty well, and it's paid off.
There's been a lot of talk, Bronny, about you ending up in the best situation for yourself. I'm curious, what do you think that looks like? What's the best situation for you right now?
Wherever I'm happy. I feel like that's the best like opportunity and situation that I want to be myself in. And just wherever my heart wants me to be, I feel like that's where I should be.
Is it tough as you're trying to balance whether or not to pursue
for sure,
professional dream versus because you're close?
Yeah.
Does that excitement feel like it's pushing you in one direction or another?
Yeah, for sure, but I know like my time will come, obviously, and I don't want to rush anything with all the things that have gone on in the past year. I just don't want to take anything too quickly and not be happy where I end up in this.
Bronny, what went into the decision not to talk this season or do any interviews? Was that your call, or who's?
Just my team, stuff like that. Made decisions for me that would be best in that situation, current situation.
When you say your team, who do you mean there?
Just like my agency and stuff like that. Yeah.
What was the thinking there? I mean, what?
I couldn't tell you. I'm just going off what they're told.
Bronny, you see all these cameras here. I mean, this has kind of been what it's like your entire career. Mm-hmm. How are you able just to stay calm and normal with all these cameras and attention in your face?
I really don't know, to be honest. It's a lot, and it's built me into a stronger individual. And I'm just all this, like I'm extremely grateful. But it's a lot sometimes. But
I feel like every time there's been criticism around your game, you don't belong here. You really silence the critics. And at McDonald's, you went 5 for 8 from 3. Yesterday, you hit 12 straight threes. In the star drill. But what's that pressure like, and what do you say to those people that don't think that you really belong here?
there's nothing I can say, to be honest. Like I just, I obviously see everything that has been thrown my way, but I just gotta shrug it off, and all the work that I've put in over this, I don't know how many years. I just feel like I need to believe in myself and everything. Like, they haven't seen what I've been through or anything like that. So, I just continue to believe in myself and keep putting in the work.
Question for you, when you talked about it, they're talking about your father and everything like that. You've been in the spotlight since you were a little kid, right? So when you go into these interviews with these executives, they know about your family, but what do you want them to know about you, the person?
That I'm a genuine person. I've gotten a lot of lessons and stuff from my mom and my dad, but also just like putting that Bronny James narrative out there more, is instead of just being LeBron James' son. I think that's really important for me.
Now, with that being said, does that motivate you a little bit? Because there's when your father said last year, "I want to play with my son," then everyone's like, "Oh, teams are going to draft him just so his father can come." I mean, does that basically look, I'm more than just a way to get my pop? Does that
Yeah, for sure. That's one of the many motivation factors that I go off of, including all the negativity and hate that I receive. But yeah, that's for sure one of the. Yeah.
How did it feel to be out there on the court today, like to get the scrimmage play games? Like, how did it feel out there? And how did you feel like you played?
I feel like I played good. My job is just to play a role and play the right way, make sure I can get my teammates involved and stuff like that. But again, I was just super grateful for the opportunity to be out there. I felt like I should be out there. But yeah, I'm super grateful for everything.
Ronnie, what would it mean if you did end up on the Lakers or wherever your dad ends up playing? What would that mean to you if you two ended up being on the same team? Obviously, it's been talked about for a long time.
It's. I don't think I would just when I get there. I don't think it would be just be me and my dad. I would be happy about getting to the league instead of me thinking about playing with my dad. But that's not my mindset right now at all. I'm just trying to put in the work and see where it takes me from there.
A lot of people made a big thing about it. One time your dad was like, "Oh, it's my dream to play with my son." But I don't know if anybody had ever asked you, did you ever dream about playing with your dad, for you, or what went to it from your perspective?
No, never. My dream has always just been to put my name out, make a name for myself, and of course, get to the NBA, which is everyone's end goal that is here. And I never thought about just playing with my dad, but of course he's brought it up a couple times. But yeah, I don't think about it much.
How was your life thinking about the possibility that you might not be able to play, since it has been your dream for a long time? Did that ever enter into it?
Yeah, it was a tough time for sure, but all this work that I've put in, it just really built me into someone that will never give up, and it paid off because I put in the work after that situation, and I'm back to where I want to be.
Were there tough conversations about the possibility that it might not happen?
Yeah. Well, when I was diagnosed, there was a whole bunch of options where I could fall into, and thankfully, it wasn't one of those options. So yeah, I'm just really thankful for that.
You're obviously a very good player, which is why you're here. Probably alone among all of the guys here, you could potentially get drafted for reasons even beyond that. And there's almost a risk of, are you really ready for that? Would you want to put out there that, hey, only draft me if you really think I'm good enough and not for all these other reasons, obviously because of your dad, or you're just like, hey, whatever gets me there, I'll get there?
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like this is a serious business, and I don't feel like there would be a thought of I'm just drafting this kid just because of I'm gonna get his dad. I don't think a GM would really allow that. So yeah, I've never really thought about like, yeah, no, I think I've put in the work and I'd get drafted because of the person, not only the player but the person that I am.
Brian, when you dealt with what you dealt with over the summer, in the immediate aftermath, how did you handle that? Or something so scary for you? And I guess when did you shake? I imagine fear was something you felt. Like when did you shake fear?
I'm still it's still lingering. I feel like my parents were a big factor of believing in me and giving me the love and affection that I needed at that time. But yeah, I still think about everything that could happen. But I just love the game so much that it just overpowers it.
Do you think that affected at all how you played this year?
Yeah, for sure. I was set back, but that's not an excuse. I have put in so many years of work, and yeah, I don't want to have anyone think that just because I had this issue that I'm lower than everyone else. So
What's an area of your game that you feel like you slept on? I feel like defensively you're really good too. IQ's there, but what's the area you feel like in your game that's not talked about enough?
I feel like my competitiveness and like the willing to win is like a big part of who I am. Also, just being a great teammate, a great coach's player. I feel like that'll take me a long way in this business.
Bronny,
I'm sure
you
you're
and your
used to the.
teammates- You and your teammates, I mean, you've played alongside guys that are already in the NBA. Gamari was drafted last year. Zaire, BJ. How much confidence does that give you going into the NBA process and hopefully to the NBA?
I've played against those guys every day in practice. It definitely feels good that I have had a level of competition that like makes it to the league. But those are my guys. I had so many days and nights in the gym with them. So yeah, it definitely motivates me to. Yeah.
Bronny, what
You're accustomed to this kind of attention. Is there pressure that comes with that the other guys in this room just can't know?
Yeah, but like I don't want to be that guy and say that all this pressure is what's compelling me to not perform as well as I want to. It's a lot, but it's something that I got to deal with because it is what it is.
Is it something that you've learned how to deal with that maybe at one point you did not know the way you do now?
Not really. It's been present basically my whole life. So, I mean, the talking and stuff in the media has been pretty recent, but I feel like that all those years and present years have learned me to be better in these type of situations.
You've talked about what you want to be as a player, a guy who makes his teammates better. But where do you feel you stand in your evolution to being a floor general who commands that level of respect from the defense? And what do you need to improve upon in your game to get to that point?
My goal isn't really to be that guy. There's a lot of guys in the NBA that are, have that role already. My current goal is just to, fit into a role that a team needs. That's what's going to get me drafted. And yeah, just play the best, be the best player that, excelling in that role and stuff like that. But I need to work on my game. I mean, I really work on every part of my game. When I in the gym and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't really think about being that guy on the team right now because there's already those like Jason Tatum, every one of those guys. So I don't know.
Bronny, which teams have you met with so far, and who do you have lined up?
I haven't met with anyone yet.
Bronny, what do you anticipate your emotions on draft night being? If you do hear your name and it's, like you said, that goal that all of you guys want, that you've made the NBA.
All that negativity and hatred and it's just gonna all pile down to me. I really don't know how I'm gonna react. It's gonna be a lot for sure for myself and my parents, because I know they're gonna, you know, be 10 times as much emotional than I am. So yeah, it's good.
But for clarity, so have you made your decision yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
No.
As you've prepared potentially for a pro process, you talked about guys that have that sort of like A1 role.
Mm-hmm.
Who are some of the guys that you look at around the NBA in roles and you say, okay, like maybe I can affect winning this one?
Yeah. Guys like Davion Mitchell, Drew Holiday, Derek White, just to name a few, like just the guys that excel in their role and, you know, get good money and get good playing time from it, because they are, you know, locked into that role and know what they're supposed to do. So I feel like, you know, if I have a chance to do that, then
You have a lot of narratives being tossed around you, about you. But what do you, Bronny James, want your story to be?
Everyone's heard this before. I just want to, you know, have people know my name is Bronny James, and not being, you know, identified as just LeBron James' son. I feel like that would be a great end goal.
What is it about like Derek White that really stands out to you when you're watching players in the league that you're like, okay, that's the one?
Yeah, just playing the right way. He just makes all the right plays, as well as Drew Holiday. And yeah, I feel like that's what I want myself to be, and I feel like that's what makes the coach happy.
Two more, guys. Two more.
Yeah.
But is that more like your personality, though? Because, I mean, these are two guys who, like you said, I mean, they've been in the league for a while. They're very impactful. But they also are certain guys who, if you don't really follow basketball, they can go unnoticed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I mean, my personality is a, you know, grateful guy, you know, passionate for everyone. I'm just a good guy, and I feel like that's what I want my identity to be in the NBA. Whether it takes 1, 2 years, 3 years, I just, you know, want to find my role and excel at it and be happy while I'm doing it.
Was that a conversation? The I want to be Bronny James and stuff. Was that a conversation you ever had to have with your dad?
Nah.
Was that something that you guys kind of as a family?
No.
This process is kind of.
It was something that, I mean, Bronny was just a nickname that I was just given when I was younger. But, you know, everything that follows my dad, and people just try to, you know, link me with that and all the greatness that he's achieved. Like I haven't done anything yet, so I feel like there needs to be that divide in between Bronny and LeBron.
Thanks, Bronny. Appreciate you, man.
Yep.
Thank you.